All right, let's talk about how bid caps actually work for a second. So let's think about this business with 42 points of margin, 50% 1-year LTV, and a 14% delayed purchase multiplier between 7-day click and 28-day click. What that means is because I have to bid on 1-day click or 7-day click, let's take a business that's bidding for 7-day click, I have to assume that there's some increase in the value of the clicks that I buy from day 7 to day 28 when Meta shows you the full value of your purchases, okay? Because there's always a gap between what you get on day 1 or day 7 and day 28, okay? I call it the delayed purchase multiplier. The idea is I click today and buy in 3 weeks. That's going to show up as a click that I pay for in my 7-day click attribution, but it's not going to show up as a purchase in my 7-day attribution, but it will in my 28-day attribution. I'm going to assume there's a 14% growth in customers from 7 days to 28 days. So if I get $100 from customers within the first 7 days after a click, measured within my 7-day click bid and CAC, I'm going to get another $14 worth of customer value over the course of the next 21 days after that, from 7 days to 28 days. So that's the idea. Okay, so bids work like this, right? I am going to bid however much I want for a purchase and say this is the threshold at which I am no longer willing to pay. Above this threshold, I'm no longer willing to pay for a customer based off of Meta's probabilistic forecasting about the value of a customer and the value of a click in my business, okay? Really, the cost of a customer, not the value of a customer. The cost of a customer and the value of the click in my business. And so if I bid $100, I'm saying do not spend more than $100 to acquire a customer. Now, Meta's auction is a second price sealed auction, which means you actually pay the second highest bid for your conversion. So let's just say there's 2 advertisers bidding on the same impression. Okay, I'm advertiser 1, I'm willing to pay $100. Advertiser 2 is willing to pay $95 for that conversion. Okay. I win the bid at $100. This is a simplified version of this, but this is basically what's happening. I win the bid at $100, but I only pay $95 because I have to pay the second highest bid. Okay, if that's the second highest bid, that's what I pay. Which means when you run bid caps, the average CAC you actually pay will always be under the cap as long as the forecasting model is working about right, and in the aggregate, it pretty much does. Okay, what that delta is between my bid and my actual average is it varies, right? But $5 is reasonable. I've seen this somewhere in this range quite a bit of times, right? I pay 100, I bid 100, I actually get 95. And by the way, one of the differences here, the key difference between bid caps and cost caps is that if I'm running a cost cap, if I bid $100, if that's what my cost cap is, I'm going to get an actual average of $100. And that's because Meta is going to be willing to pay actually above my average for some conversions. So I'm going to buy some conversions at higher than the number that I've set here and some lower, but the average will work out as best as Meta is able to 100. Okay, so that's the idea. So because I'm bidding at or under this bid threshold, every time I raise my bid on the same set of ads, what I'm willing to do is take more incremental conversions that I was previously saying no to, right? So the way I visualize this is imagine in this business, there are 4 potential conversions to get, okay? 4 potential bids to place, okay? And we'll just make it so these are the only 4 conversions I'm gonna get, just to make it easy, okay? For all of them, the order value is $237. This is the margin assumption I've made. Again, I've got this delayed purchase multiplier assumption all in here. And this is my bid, 100, 110, 120, 130. Those are the 4 potential bids I could place. And with each increase of $10 in bid, I get 1 more conversion. Okay, that's the idea. So if I only bid $100, I get 1 conversion. I get a first purchase CM of $17.48. I get an LTV CM of $68. So within the first year, I'm getting $68 worth of contribution margin on this customer. Okay, if I bid 110, I'm getting an incremental conversion that also produces $7.70 right away, and then another $58 over the course of the year, okay, over the course of the LTV. If I bid 120, now I've added another conversion that's dead break even, so it gives me nothing on first purchase, but it gives me $50 over the course of the year versus LTV. And now if I bid to 130, my CAC comes in at 125 on a 7-day click basis. Again, it gets multiplied up for the delayed purchase multiplier. And now on that 28-day first purchase, I actually lose some CM. I lose $9.60 today, but I gain another incremental $41. So if I only take the first 3 where I'm not bidding into a first order loss, I get $25 worth of CM on that first order, okay, on these bids. And I get 176 over the course of the year. If I bid on all 4, now I lower my first purchase CM, but raise my LTV CM. And crucially, all of that LTV CM is truly incremental to my business. So All of this is actually additional to what I'm getting now. So if I'm saying no to the $130 tier, what I'm saying no to is the additional $41 in CM. I'm saying no thanks. Now there might be a reason to do that for plenty of businesses, right? You might not have the cash to front a year's worth. Depends on how quickly you get that money over the course of a year. You might not be that aggressive, and you might think like, look, I'm willing to just take more profitability first order because I just would rather do that. I'd rather be a little less aggressive. But you are saying no to more profit over the course of a year, or to more contribution margin anyway over the course of a year. That is the decision you're making in that case, and that's the idea that the bid helps you do. So when you make decisions about where to set your bid, you're really making a strategic decision about how to think about the P&L in general and about the strategy in general. You got to set it relative to what you think is best for your business, what you think is best for your short and long-term cash position, and all those questions come into play every time you make a decision about this. And so, yeah, that's the way to think about your bids. It's really a financial decision. And again, remember that idea of incrementality. That is, you are going to take extra purchases there, and how you think about the value of those extra purchases as you raise your bid is really the crucial question.